Good morning. This is Shelby Law with the Great Basin Prescribed Fire and Smoke Briefing for Wednesday, February 19th, 2000. Look at the recent precipitation here on the left. We're showing the past 7 days worth of precip in inches, and it was a pretty active weather pattern across the entire Great Basin from the north all the way down to the south. Some of the heavier snow totals occurred over the mountains of northern Utah, southeast Idaho, and portions of Wyoming, but we did have some pretty good high elevation snow across much of the area with low elevation mixed rain and snow. The 30 days percent of normal image is shown here on the right, and even though we did have some precip in the southern Great Basin, it wasn't enough to really change the overall picture for the past 30 days. Still quite dry compared to normal, but some pretty good values compared to normal across Idaho, Wyoming, even a little bit along far western Nevada and the Sierra Front, and northern Utah. Snowfall in the past 72 hours has also been pretty favorable with pretty active weather pattern over the weekend and the first part of the week with high elevation snow over Idaho, Wyoming, and northern Utah. Some areas here in far eastern Idaho and western Wyoming saw up to 2 feet of snow, so a pretty good little storm system. Looking at current snow inches of depth here on the left, we can see some pretty good totals over, or decent totals anyway, for the time of year over Idaho, Wyoming, and portions of northern Utah. Our snowpack here on the right is right around average for the time of year for most of the northern areas, a little bit above average over far western Idaho and northern Nevada. And then we have some pretty dry conditions, low snowpack over the southern Great Basin, southern Utah, the Arizona Strip, and southern Nevada, where they've virtually seen not much precipitation and not much snow at all, but closer to normal further north. All right, let's look at the forecast. For today, we do have another low pressure trough moving into the Pacific Northwest, which will bring another round of precipitation to the area today through tomorrow. So today we'll see that precipitation moving into the north, across Idaho, into western Wyoming, and into northern Utah by later in the evening, and then throughout the day tomorrow in Utah. Ventilation rates are improving. Higher values over Nevada today, still on the lower side ahead of that trough in Utah and Idaho. If we look at the transport winds, we're going to see some gusty conditions in western Nevada, very breezy or windy even along the Sierra Front with gusts 50 miles an hour plus right there along the Sierra Front, and some other gusty winds there in western Nevada, lighter winds in Utah and Idaho. Mixing heights are also high in Nevada ahead of that trough. On Thursday, the low swings through, bringing precipitation into the eastern half of the Great Basin and down into Utah throughout the day on Thursday. Ventilation rates really improving over Idaho and Utah on Thursday. The transport winds pick up in Utah on Thursday as that trough moves through with some strong downslope winds in eastern Utah. Mixing heights also increase over Utah and southern Nevada on Thursday. Friday, we see a little bit of a break in the precipitation with a ridge building in temporarily. Drier conditions area-wide, ventilation rates decreasing on Friday. Light transport winds for the most part on Friday, still maybe just some breezy winds over the far southern Great Basin. Mixing heights really decreasing across the north with that ridge building in. Clearing index for the next 3 days is shown here. Not great values across the state of Utah today. Significantly improving tomorrow with those increasing winds, and then decreasing once again on Friday, especially across the north. The 3-day precip totals are shown here. Again, most of this precip is coming in today into tomorrow. And it looks like portions of western Idaho will see the heaviest precip totals. Most of this is going to be mountain snow and mixed snow rain across the valleys. On Saturday, again, another kind of break day with drier conditions across much of the region. Ventilation rates are still on the lower end. And then on Sunday, some more moisture coming into the north, mainly Idaho, and especially western Idaho in this flow. Maybe northern Utah, northern Nevada could see a little bit of precipitation. Ventilation rates are not great, again, into Sunday. And then Monday, drier conditions moving in. As we head into the first part of next week, temperatures really do increase with this ridge building in. Highs are going to be up in the low 50s for many valley locations. So another taste of spring coming early next week. Ventilation rates are going to be low. Another little storm system maybe moving through on Tuesday. Not looking for great amounts of precipitation, but a little bit of mixing to the air. Ventilation rates improving a bit on Tuesday with that little low moving across the Pacific Northwest. Precipitation accumulations for days 4 and 5 are shown here. This is that Sunday, mainly the precipitation coming in on Sunday to western Idaho and the higher elevations of western Wyoming. The extended outlook for February 26th to March 4th puts us in a warmer and drier pattern, so we'll probably see some of our storms decreasing and warmer temperatures moving in, maybe a kind of a good taste of spring as we head into the end of February and first part of March. And that concludes today's briefing. Please check back on Friday for the latest updates.